welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I'm just a girl who likes reading romance, fantasy romance, paranormal romance, any kind of genre of romance in general. And I also happen to have cerebral palsy, and it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to my channel. Happy Friday! I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today's video is going to be the fantasy romance books on my radar, or you could call it my fantasy romance TBR. I have 5 books on this TBR, and there are 5 books that I really want to read. I saw Joel from Raven Haired Reader do this video, so I'll link her channel down below in the description. The first fantasy romance book on my TBR is Once Upon a Broken Heart. I put this on my TBR because Jess from Honest Fiction, she talks about this book a lot. All I know about this is the heroine. The guy she likes is engaged to her sister. So she goes to the Prince of Broken Hearts to help her stop the wedding. And the Prince of Broken Hearts says he will help her, but only if she kisses
of his choosing
3 men of her choosing. I think that's the first book in the series. And I really want to read this because Jess said the second book in the series gave her Akatar vibes, I think. And if you know me, I love Avatar. That's my favorite fantasy romance series of all time. So this book is high on my TBR. The next book I have on this list for fantasy romance is A Dawn of Onyx. And I put this on my TBR because Sam and Tori both have mentioned it. And the blurb sounds really cool. It's about this girl who's in the middle of a war with the Onyx Kingdom, and so her brothers and her sisters run away, but the heroine, I think she forgets something at her house, so she tells her siblings to go on without her. She goes back to her house to get the stuff she missed, but then Onyx soldiers capture her, and the heroine is a healer, and she's trapped in the Onyx Kingdom, and she gets the attention of the Onyx King, and I think she has a romance with the jailer, the bodyguard person. I don't know, but it sounded really interesting. And the audiobook comes out for this in October, so I really want to read this. And I know Sam, Tori, and Rachel, all of them really like this book, so the book I have on my list is The Scorpion King. The Order of the Scorpions. and I know nothing about this book. I never even heard of it. But when Jess did her like
Jess at Honest Fiction
favorite books according to you video, she mentioned this book, and it just sounded really cool. It's a Why Choose fantasy romance about Faye, and I think the girl is an assassin. So I really want to read this because I added it to my want to read list on Goodreads, and the blurb sounded really interesting. Next we have Daughter of the Drowned Empire, and I also got this title from Jess's video. I don't know what it is. I know it's an enemies to lovers romance, and the heroine's siblings died. I don't know. It sounded like it, but it just sounded really cool, so I put that on my TBR. Last two books on my TBR I got from Rachel at Raven-Haired Reader. The Witch Collector. I bought The Witch Collector when it was free on Book Blurb, so I have it sitting on my Kindle. And The Witch Collector is about this heroine who's a witch who lives in a secret lives in a village of witches, and we have this witch collector who comes to the village and takes and kidnaps witches to take to the king, and her younger sister was taken by the witch collector before, and she wants revenge. So she has been training herself in magic when it's finally time for the witch collector to get her to extract her revenge on him. But somehow they get attacked by their mutual enemy, and they have to end up working together. It's their romance, and it sounded really interesting. The last book on this TBR is Fear the Flame. I know next to nothing about this book, but the way Rachel from Raven-Haired Reader talked about this book, I had to put it on my TBR. It's about this runaway princess who has the power. I think she has the power to speak with dragons. And it's an enemies to lovers romance, and it has dragons in it, and that's all I need to know. I know this book was just put on Kindle Unlimited. In fact, all the books on here, I don't know if Once Upon a Broken Heart is in Kindle Unlimited, but other than that, most of the fantasy romance books on this list is on Kindle Unlimited. And I also want to read the vampire book by Mary Mystery. I forgot the title. I'll put it up here. But I read The Traitor Witch by Mary Mystery, and the next books I want to read are her vampire Lichen trilogy, and I got this recommendation from Hannah at Hannah Blackwell because I really like The Traitor Witch, but I have a feeling I'll like her vampire trilogy and Legend trilogy a lot more. Those are the books on my fantasy romance TBR. Please let me know if you have read any of these books. I would love to know. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. That would mean the world to me. And I'll see you on Monday. Bye.